if-else statements. Now, if you have been working in development, you know that if-else statements are really, really handy, but also you want to avoid that death pyramid of doom. You don't want to have nested if-else statements. So what to do instead? Well, today I'm going to talk about that, what you should do and what you should not do. We are going to take a look at a demo project, which we will guide you through an if-else statement and all of those nested if-else statements, and we are going to fix it. Before we dive into it, let me remind you about Dev Factory. It is at rebeloper.com/mentoring, where you can meet me on a 60-minute Zoom call if you have any questions about Swift UI, or you have a bug in your code, or if you just want to talk about Swift UI in general. Go ahead and check out rebeloper.com/mentoring. So what I have done here is just prepared a demo project. Well, basically it's just a vanilla Swift UI project. It says just the text hello world. Let me just build it around so we can know that everything works okay as it is. And yeah, looking, we should get the hello world right over here. Let me just check this comments section. No, that's fine, working okay. And yeah, let me just go ahead and talk a little bit about what we are going to build today. Well, we are going to see whether we are allowed for a drink or not legally, and we are going to use a person for that. So let's create our struct of a person right over here. So it will be person. And this person for now will have only one property, and that will be an age, and that will be an int value. So this is the struct that we are going to work with. Now, when we are appearing, we want to set this actual person. So let's just go with the onAppear first. So onAppear, and we're going to do some code right over there. Now, when we are appearing, we want to create our actual person or not. Maybe we are not a person, maybe we are a robot. So it could very well be that this person is actually nil. So let's just create this person. So at state private var person, and it will be of type person, and I'm just going to have this as an optional. So person optional. This is great. This is just fine. Now, I do want to paste out, like I do want to label this text with, for example, not allowed to drink, or not allowed to drink in the US, or maybe allowed to drink according to the age of this person. Now, for that, we need another state variable. I'm just going to have it as text and have it an empty string, and just add it right over here. So now that we have our two state variables, what do we want to do on the onAppear? Well, we want to create a person, and currently I'm just going to set this to nil because yeah, we also have to take care of that. So why not start there? And then we want to have a text set to something. And actually, this is the function that we are going to create. And now I'm going to do this with the if-else statements and nested if statements. This is not the way I recommend it, but I'm going to do this for you so you know what the challenges are and why it's bad for you. And then we are going to move on and do the right thing, the better way of handling this. Go ahead and check out the chapters down below right over here. Okay, so let's create our function right over here. Let's name this allowed to drink, and we are going to pass in our person right over there, and this could be an optional person, and this will return us a string value. So let's just add it right over here, allowed to drink and person. If we hit Command B, everything should work okay. Well, actually, we want to return something, and this is what we are going to build out. So first of all, we want to make sure that the person is not nil. So if you're doing the if statement, and if you are going to nest the if statements, then this is something that you would do. So if let person equals person, then do something else. So else, we are going to return not a person, not a person. Okay, so basically if this person is nil, then we are going to return that you are not a person. We are going to put it into this text. So let's hit Command R, and basically this is, and rather right over here, we are just going to return an empty string. So basically, so we don't have that error. And as you can see, because the person is there, we are having not a person added as the text. Now, what do we want to do if we do have a person? Well, we want to check their age. So right over here, we would just go if person dot age is less than maybe 18. Then we would do something, and else we would do other things. So if the person is under 18, then we would just return not allowed to drink. Not allowed to drink. Okay, so basically that's it. Otherwise, we would just have a return of empty string. So let's check this out. A person, and we would just have an age, and let's make this maybe 17, so not entirely 18. Let's just do that. As you can see, not allowed to drink. Okay, so what if we are in the US, where the legal limit is, in some cases, 21 years old? So instead of an else statement, we would just have here an else if, and we just go again, person dot age is less than 21, and finally we would just have this else when we are allowed to drink. So let's just return allowed to drink. Okay, and right over here we would just return not allowed to drink in the US. So not allowed to drink in the US. Okay, and basically that's it. Let's just check this out. Maybe add in here 20. Let's see what it says. So not allowed to drink in the US, and maybe 25. Let's build and run again with Command R. You are allowed to drink at that point. Okay, so this is our nested if statement. As you can see, it's really kind of complicated to build out, and once you come back to this code, then you would just go if, and then just scroll down to the else statement, what we are doing, not a person, and then usually what you want to do is go the allowed way. So it's kind of nested right over here. It's kind of hidden in the lines. We are allowed to drink at this if else if statement. So it is nested. Yeah, the pyramid of doom. We don't really like this. So here is what we should do instead, and that here comes the guard statements, and let's just build that out. It's really fun to do this. So we are going to create a new function, and may drink will be the function name, and of course we are going to add in our person. That will be an optional person, and we are going to again return a string value. So now what we want to do is just shift our way of thinking about this. We want to guard against certain cases, and then if none of those apply, then we want to say, okay, you are allowed to drink. So first off, I'm just going to add in here allowed to drink. Let me just copy this out quickly and paste it in there. So, okay, we are allowed to drink at this stage. And as you will see how easy it is to just add those guard statements. So let me just change this to that person. And yeah, let's just go back to nil. So we will just test all of that out. Okay, for currently we are returning allowed to drink, but we want to first check if the person exists. So if it's a robot, then sorry, you are not allowed to drink. Maybe if you are Bender. But if you guard unwrap this, so guard, and we are going to use the guard let unwrap. So guard let person equals person, else we want to return not a person. So if we are not a person, then if the person is nil, then we want to return not a person. So let's build run, and we should see not a person at this point. Yeah, so because this is nil right over here, what we added, we are not a person. Okay, so next up is to guard against the age limit of 18. So let's do that again with a guard statement. This time around, we are going to use a simple guard statement. Guard person dot age, and we want to make sure that our person is more or equals to 18. So our age is more or equal than 18. Otherwise, else we want to return, and it's not allowed to drink. This is what we want to return. Okay, just pasting in it there. So let's see if we turn 18. Let's create our person right over here. So person, age 18. Let's just hit Command R, allowed to drink. Let's just go not 18, because over 18 we are allowed to drink. Now 17, not allowed to drink. Okay, so we can do the same thing for our next age. So I'm going to just simply copy out and paste it right over there, and it should be 21. So if we hit 21 years of age, we are allowed to drink, and in the US is the other way around. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here is just go and maybe add in 19, and we should say not allowed to drink in the US. Let's just wait for that. As you can see, not allowed to drink in the US. Now if I go and hit 25, not allowed to drink. Allowed to drink, yes, because we are 25. And as you can see, here we have a comparison of the if-else statements and the guard ones with allowed to drink or the may drink function. It's much more easier to read. This is really nested, and it's kind of all over the place. Now we just go one line by one line. And finally, if all of those guard statements do succeed, then we just return what we actually want.